morning, Danielle and Shane. Thank you for coming in to see me today. I was reading a little bit off the intake form. While you guys are here, if you guys want to tell me a little bit about what's been going on, what's been happening?
Yeah, well, I'm having a lot of problems with Sean. Shane. He has a lot of behavioral problems, and he just don't seem to want to fit in with the family. He doesn't want to share his things with the family. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to share in the household or anything like that, or obey me or anything. I'm just really having problems with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we've discussed this over and over and over, and he doesn't just want to seem to be coherent in what I'm asking him to do. He doesn't seem like he loves his family. And I know that he's on medication and everything, but his medication has nothing to do with his behavior problems. Most of them, anyway.
Definitely understand, and that's that's a lot coming out at this moment. And Danielle, I know we've been meeting previously before, so I'm glad you were able to finally bring Shane in so we could all discuss this. So now we can get down to business. Shane, I see you were looking down that whole time that she was talking. Are you feeling any kind of way? Why? Do you want to explain?
You have to go for real things or fake things. Real.
Yeah, you're messing up my video. I'm recording it. I'm going to edit it out. And you're wasting my time.
Hurry up, Sean. She asked you why was you looking down?
Shane, you were looking down that whole time that your mom was talking. Do you want to tell me what's going on? Are you feeling bad or? Okay. How are you feeling? Let me know. You have to explain it to me so I can understand it.
Because I'm almost doing this and truth, it's just hard hearing it.
Okay. And that's definitely understandable. I noticed you're still looking away though. Can you explain why you're looking away? Like, is it making you feel bad?
No, it's just anger. It's just like, I can't take it.
It makes you look away?
Yeah. Like, I can't take it. So it's just one thing.
It's not making you feel any kind of way? Well, going back to what your mom was saying, Danielle, you were saying a lot. I heard you say, there are a lot of emotions that I heard you express when you were saying that. It sounds like Sean's behaviors are making you feel unloved, or making you feel hurt, or making you feel angry. Am I hearing you correctly, or correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, all those things, Sandra. I'm feeling, I have a lot of emotions, whereas I just sit down and cry a lot of times, and which I really love Sean. I really do. That's my son. I can't help but have love for him. I don't hate him or anything. It just seems as though, I don't know, I can't seem to come across to him, or everything that I want to do or reach out to him, he seems like he fights me. He goes against me on a lot of things. And when someone else is going against you, when two people try to come together, you got to come together as one and have love. But he fights me. So when he fights me, it's hard for us to come together as mother and son. And that's a bad relationship, because mother and son should have a strong bond and a strong tie. And we don't have that. And it's because of him, because I'm willing, but he don't seem to be willing.
Shane, do you know that you made your mother feel this way? Danielle, do you mind explaining to Shane how his actions are making you feel, how his behaviors affect you emotionally, what they do to you?
Yeah, emotionally, Shane, you tear his mother down when you do these things. You make me feel emotionally. Emotionally, I cry all the time. I have self-pity for myself, and then I already did a lot of different negative stuff from the world and from society. But you, as my son, you're supposed to be more supportive to me. You're supposed to be there to lift me up. When other people treat me bad and make me feel bad and make me cry and stuff, then you're supposed to come and say, Mom, hug me, or put your arm around my shoulder, embrace me. and make me feel better and say, Mom, don't cry. I know what you're going through. This is a bad world, but it'll be all right. You know, I know what you're going through. Nobody else knows what you're going through, but I know you're going through a lot of things, and I'm sorry you got to go through these things, but it's going to be all right. We'll come, Mom. We'll pray together, or something like that. That's the way it should be. Get the Bible, and we'll read a couple scriptures or something. You know, when you read Bible scriptures, it strengthens you. It really strengthens you.
Shane, can you look at your mother when she's talking to you?
Yeah, when you read the Bible and you read certain scriptures, you can say, well, Mom, let me go get the Bible, and we'll sit down and read a couple scriptures out of the Bible. And when you read the scriptures, it strengthens you. It really strengthens you, and it makes you feel better. And it makes you feel stronger. You don't feel so weak and want to cry all the time. But you know, each and every time I cry, it's making my system weak. Whereas I'm getting weaker and weaker, and I'm going down because I cry too much. I can't keep my blood pressure down. I can't keep my sugar down. And all that stuff is affecting my brain. It's carrying me down. After a while, you won't have no mother. Then what you gonna do? You ain't gonna have no one to turn to but society. And society ain't gonna do nothing but kick you in your behind. I'm giving you love and attention as much as I can. You ain't gonna get that from nobody else.
Right, Sean, I noticed just for the way you're sitting and the way you're meddling your hands and whatnot, it looks like what you're hearing is uncomfortable. Would you say that's correct? Or it's not uncomfortable? Mom, do you think he's uncomfortable?
I think he is, because he's fidgeting around. You know, he can't look at me directly, and he's fidgeting around with his hands and stuff. You know, when people do that, that means that something else is going on that they're a little bit uncomfortable about.
Sean, do
You
you
know,
think
don't
that's,
feel too stable.
you know? Right, well, you're not talking much. How does hearing what your mom said make you feel?
Well, actually, it feels pretty bad because I really
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's like making me feel ashamed of myself because I really don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't realized that I've actually been doing that much stuff to bring my money down.
Hearing all this, and so since you're saying that you realize this now, what was it? Just like the actual talking that made you realize,
Yes.
or did you have a feeling all along, or you know? I understand. Well, Danielle, can I ask you, what kinds of things could Sean do that would make those feelings that you described go away, or what would make you happy, or what would be some positives, that maybe Sean could do?
Well, to narrow things down, I think what Sean could do to make me happy, make himself happy, feel better, is just listen to me. If he listened to me and be incoherent and do what I ask him to do, that will solve the majority of the problem. But he doesn't do that. It seems as though, Samika, that he's trying to raise himself. He's neglecting me as his mother, and he's trying to do things to raise himself. Like, he eats when he wants to eat. He eats what he wants to eat. He eats when he wants to eat. He eats in rooms and stuff that I tell him not to eat in. He goes and do all these things that he knows is against my rules. But yet, and still he does them. So can you ask him, why do he do that? Why does he go against my rules all the time? Is it that so hard that you don't love your mother that well, that you want to go against her rules all the time?
And I can see that thinking about these things makes you a little upset, Danielle, I can see.
Yeah.
Sean, I know you're sitting here listening to your mother. Do you want to address that, or at least maybe tell me or tell your mother some things that you could begin doing to, make this relationship better, or, some positive things? Why don't you tell her first some things that you can do to make to make the relationship better? Then maybe you could tell your mom some things you would like her to do to make the relationship a little positive. But why don't you? She posed a question to you, so do you want to start off maybe telling your mom some things that you could do to, make this relationship more positive?
Well, Mom, The eating thing, that's not really like going, well, like, you know, I do that because whenever it's time to eat, your shows are on, and I want to watch my shows, and there's no way we watch our shows at the same time. So that's why I eat upstairs.
Well, I'm gonna say this, even though if your shows are on, my rule of thumb is no eating in the bedroom. Whether your show is on TV or not, do not eat in the bedroom. You know, by eating in the bedroom, it causes a lot of problems. So why would you want to bring those problems on the family? Just like now, I gotta pay this man $260-some to straighten out all this mess, all these broken things that you done did, which could have been prevented if you would have just as simple as listened to me and be incoherent with what I asked you to do.
I want to keep us focused. So, Sean, hearing what your mother just said, what are a couple things that you should be doing? If you see that it makes her, this upset and it's maybe affecting her in this way, and I can see from the way, your voice tone and whatnot, Danielle, I see that, it might be making you upset. So, Sean, what are some things that maybe you could be doing so that this situation isn't happening, or that you can rectify this situation perhaps?
Just follow the rules.
Okay. Are you going to follow the rules? Do you want to tell your mother that you're going to follow the rules?
I will try to follow them.
Okay, that sounds good, that sounds wonderful. But just try to do that. Don't just keep continuing to do all your bad things. Why don't you try? It's simple. When I say, Sean, please don't eat in the room. Or if you got dishes and stuff up there, bring the dishes down to the kitchen. We got a dining room table. You could even use the snack tables and sit down on the floor. Or either sometime you can even ask me. You can say, Mom, is
Do
it
you have
all
your attention, Sean?
You can even ask me sometime when it's dinner time and I say, come on down and eat. If there's another show on the TV, you can even ask me sometime. You can say, Mom, is it all right if I watch my show while I eat so I don't have to carry this food to upstairs? Because you shouldn't be eating upstairs. You really shouldn't. Because that's way another. Why are you stretching this? You sound like you're not listening.
Sean, I'm seeing from your body language and whatnot that maybe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you're not as fully focused on this session as you could be. So, what we need for you to do is give your mom your full attention, because we're trying to work together to fix this, right, Danielle?
Yes.
We're working together. We can only fix this if everyone's willing to participate and if everyone's willing to do their part. So, we want to hear from you, Sean. We don't want to attack you. We don't want to say things that aren't true. But what you would have to do is you have to give us your side of the story. You have to pay attention. You have to correct us when we're wrong. You have to do all these things so we can work together to make this work, right, Danielle?
Right.
And we all here, want to make that work for you. And, so we would like you to pay attention. And no one's trying to make you feel bad, Sean. I think from your body language and, the putting on the fingers, and you just seem really tense. And we just want you to know, no one's trying to attack you or make you feel bad or whatnot. Because there are definitely positives between the relationship between you two, correct, Mom and Sean?
Right.
What are some times, think about some times when things are going well. What are some times when things are going well?
Right.
What are some times? Tell me.
Sometimes when things are going well, and sometimes when we sit down as a family and we laugh and talk and we watch funny things on TV together, or we watch a movie together, and everybody seems to come together because we share our thoughts and our opinions on the movie. And so those are some good times.
Sean, tell me some good times. What are some positive things about your relationship? Tell me about the times when you guys, are not arguing, or when. Tell me about some times when things are going good. What are some times?
It's good because you just said it right.
I'd like you to tell me some other times.
And, sometimes, we think we're going good, and everybody's we go out to eat dinner, and then, everybody's just getting along and
Alright, so those are some good examples, and that shows that, the reality is the majority of the time, it's a positive relationship. The majority of the time, there's love, there's not all this conflict. So we should keep that in mind when we're hearing these sessions, is that the majority of the time, everything's positive, there's love and whatnot.
Yes.
And when we're here, we only focus on the bad things. The reality is the positive things outweigh the bad things, right?
Right.
We want to, lessen those bad things, That's what we want to do, is lessen those bad times,
Yeah.
So, getting back to the session, can you tell your mom maybe some things that she could do to make the relationship more positive, or things that you'd like her to do, or things that you feel like would make the relationship better?